My first TV job was on the pilot of Miami Vice.
You didn't last very long, right?
I didn't last long at all. 5 minutes and I'm out. It wasn't like I was going to come back on, with Phil Collins videos.
Jimmy Smits has had one of the most enviable careers an actor can imagine, often finding himself as part of important franchises, even if just for a short period. From a cop, to a lawyer, back to a cop, then a Republican senator, a congressman who became president, an assistant district attorney turned murderer, an OG, and a psychologist, while earning an Emmy and Golden Globe along the way. The Brooklyn-born Smits didn't have to wait very long to see success as an actor. After graduating from Cornell with a master's in theater arts, Smits would spend the next couple of years on stage and catching his first television role in the pilot episode of Miami Vice, where his character would be killed to make way for Ricardo Tubbs. Not long after, Smits would land a regular role on the hit NBC legal drama L.A. Law.
Jimmy Smits was the first actor we saw for that role, and he was the only actor. And he walked in the door, boom, he just hit the ball out of the park. We just said, that's the guy. End of story.
The show would prove to be a big hit for the network, with Smits quickly becoming a fan favorite as attorney Victor Cifuentes, and earning an Emmy in 1990 for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series. He would appear in 105 episodes before leaving the show, doing guest appearances in other shows, as well as acting in theatrical and television movies.
Is that a wrench in your pocket?
In '94, Smits would once again team with L.A. Law creator Stephen Bochco, portraying Detective Bobby Simone in NYPD Blue. Smits had struck gold for a second time, with NYPD Blue becoming an immediate ratings leader for ABC. Smits would once again take home a major acting award, this time a Golden Globe in 1995.
Careful what you wish for.
Smits would appear in 90 episodes, leaving the series in 1998. This is the point where Jimmy Smits' career became truly interesting. It is uncommon for an actor to have one hit show, much less two. In that era of television, the goal of any network show was to reach 100 episodes. It was at that point that a series could be syndicated, providing for a level of financial stability and long-term income in the form of residuals for any series regulars appearing in these shows. L.A. Law and NYPD Blue were both destined for syndication and, these days, streaming. It wouldn't have been much of a surprise if Smits had slowly faded to the background like many of his contemporaries from television of the 80s and 90s. But Smits may have realized that he was now in a position where he could pick his own projects, not having to worry about accepting whatever roles he could get. And his reputation as an experienced professional would give him a leg up as he sought out acting gigs. His next major role would lead to his appearing as this character from time to time over the next 20 years, as he joined one of the largest film franchises of all time. Smits would be cast as Senator Bail Organa in episodes 2 and 3 of George Lucas's Star Wars prequel trilogy. The character Bail Organa was a significant player in the mythology of Star Wars, as a Republic senator during the fall of the Republic who helped Yoda get to safety during the days of Order 66. Additionally, he was husband to the Queen of Alderaan, and as fate would have it, he would step up to provide protection and parenting to a newborn, who would become Princess Leia. While Smits had only signed on to perform in episodes 2 and 3, he would again appear as Bail Organa in 2016's Rogue One, and in the Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi, as well as lending his voice to the 2008 multi-platform video game Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
If you are willing to lead us, then we'll join your alliance.
Following his appearance in the Star Wars films, Smits' political ambitions remained, leading him to the role of Texas Congressman Matthew Santos in the highly regarded political drama The West Wing. But he didn't simply come on board to play some young congressman. He would become a series regular for the show's final 2 seasons, portraying a Democratic candidate for president, as the series presented the campaign to replace the 2-term president, alongside stories from the White House.
I am running for president in that Texas primary. And those kids are gonna see me do that. And that's the only statement about my skin color I intend to make in this campaign. In the 7th episode of the 7th season, Smits and co-star Alan Alda, who portrayed his Republican rival for the presidency, were given an opportunity rarely seen on television, though it had become a bit of a trend at this time. For the episode The Debate, Smits and Alda would perform live. With the episode being contained to the debate stage, The West Wing chose to use this opportunity to have it performed much like a play. Due to time zones, the cast would perform the episode twice, once for the East Coast
and once for the West. These two veteran actors brought all of their skills to this episode, and while it wasn't perfect, those imperfections allowed the exchanges to feel all the more real.
Well, liberals ended slavery in this country.
A Republican president ended slavery.
Yes, a liberal Republican.
Of course, The West Wing would end its 7-year run, bringing a close to the story of Matt Santos. Smits would perform in a couple films and star in a new series called Kane that would only last half a season, eventually falling in part due to the strains caused by a strike by the Writers Guild.
Now, Kane had finished writing all of his episodes before the strike happened, but despite that, during the strike, Kane was canceled. Sad news for Kane. Great news for Lost.
But much like his role in The West Wing, Smits would join the cast of another established hit series, joining Showtime's Dexter as Assistant District Attorney Miguel Prado. The Prado character would find himself frustrated by the limitations imposed upon him by the criminal justice system in which he worked, and would become attracted to the ideas of a more vigilante style of justice, leading him into Dexter's world. Without a code and being driven by different motivations from Dexter, Prado became a liability and would eventually find himself on Dexter's table.
I accept you, Dexter, like a brother. I killed my brother. I killed yours too.
Smits would appear in the entirety of Dexter's third season, earning nominations for both the Emmy and Screen Actors Guild Awards. Following another brief network show cancellation in its first season, Smits once again chose to join the cast of an established series. This time he would join Sons of Anarchy in its 5th season, and remain a part of the cast through the 7th and final season. Smits portrays Nero Padilla, who after spending time behind bars is leading a life mostly on the legal side of things. But his life grows complicated when he becomes romantically involved with Gemma Teller, the mother of Sam Crow president Jax Teller. Nero finds himself once again participating in the outlaw lifestyle, but it isn't really what he wants. By the end, Nero would find himself purchasing some rural land and living a, hopefully, quiet life. After his run on Sons of Anarchy, Smits would guest star on a pair of episodes of police comedy Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and at this time would reprise his role as Bail Organa in Rogue One. He would also appear in a Netflix period musical series called The Get Down, that despite a mostly positive reception, was canceled after a single season, seemingly due to the necessarily high budget. Smits would participate in 24 Legacy, a spin-off of the hit Fox series. 24 Legacy was a mid-season replacement committed to a shortened 12-episode first season. Fox gave the series a significant push, premiering the series immediately following the Super Bowl.
You guys excited for this?
It's nice that we have a little lead-in. Right?
Yeah, it's a little small game of
a
football.
little lead-in.
A prime spot for any network that carries the annual television tradition. This premium spot would lead to that first episode of 24 Legacy reaching a total of nearly 21 million viewers. But with middling reviews, the audience began to tune out as the series unfolded. 24 Legacy would be canceled following that single season. But Smits isn't one to go very long without work. He would join the cast of yet another established series. This time he would join ABC's How to Get Away with Murder as Dr. Isaac Roa, a psychologist that treats series lead Annalise Keating, portrayed by Viola Davis.
All right, who knew more about the show, your granddaughter or our producer who wrote those questions?
I think my granddaughter's got her.
Okay.
Smits would appear in 13 episodes. Smits starred in and produced another legal drama called Bluff City Law, which aired 10 episodes in the fall of 2019. Its cancellation was announced during the pandemic. Smits would participate in a couple film projects at this time, including Lin-Manuel Miranda's In the Heights.
We knew that this particular character wasn't going to be doing heavy lifting vocally. He wasn't going to be doing arias and stuff.
And would appear once again as Bail Organa in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Smits most recently starred in East New York, a police procedural that aired on CBS, seeing cancellation after only a single season. As Jimmy Smits approaches his 70th birthday, he seems to be on a bit of a break from acting. If he chooses to take a step back, he can do so knowing that he has had one of the most impressive careers of any modern television actor. But if he wants to work, I have no doubt that he will. And with Jimmy Smits, he truly could show up anywhere.